You've seen it a million times, that tempting, free download. But what's the actual price we're paying? Today, we're diving into the world of adware and the hidden cost behind so much of the software we use every single day.
You know the feeling? You find this awesome app, a super useful program, maybe a game, and the best part? It's free. But we all know there's really no such thing as a free lunch, right? So what's the catch? What's the real exchange happening behind that screen?
Well, a lot of the time, the answer is something called adware. Simply put, it's software that pays for itself by showing you ads. The developers get paid by advertisers, and you get to use their product for free. On the surface, it sounds like a perfect win-win.
And really, that's the fundamental deal of a huge part of the internet today. It's a trade-off. Your attention becomes the currency, and in exchange, you get a service. When it's done openly and honestly, it's the business model that powers so much of our digital world.
All right, so let's start by looking at the legitimate side of this whole thing. How does this ad-supported model actually work, and why has it become so incredibly popular?
If you're a software developer, you basically come to a fork in the road. You can go the old school route, charge people a license fee right up front, or you can give your software away for free and let advertisers foot the bill in exchange for reaching people like you.
And we're not talking about some small-time apps here. We're talking about the absolute giants of the tech world. Think about it. Services like Gmail and Facebook are classic examples. Even hardware plays this game, like Amazon's Kindle with special offers, where you get a cheaper device because it shows you ads on the lock screen. And this isn't just for you and me. It's a serious business strategy. I mean, get this. A McKinsey survey, and this was way back in 2007, found that a full third of IT executives were already planning to use ad-funded software in their companies. It's a totally legitimate financial model.
So when everything is out in the open and the ads aren't totally obnoxious, it's a pretty fair deal. It funds countless tools that we all rely on. The problem, though, is when that transparency, well, it starts to vanish.
And this is where we get into the really murky gray area. There's a very fine line where advertising-supported software starts to feel a whole lot more like spying-supported software. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What's the tipping point? When does an app stop being a helpful tool that just happens to show ads and become a piece of spyware that's actively invading your privacy? Well, according to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, it all boils down to one incredibly important word: consent. They say if software gets installed on your device without your knowledge and consent, you should consider it spyware. That's the line in the sand.
But consent is a really tricky thing online. I mean, we've all been in this trap, right? You click install, and you're hit with this massive wall of text, the end-user license agreement. Let's be honest, nobody actually reads that whole thing. You just scroll down and click agree to get on with it. But what did you actually just agree to? And this opens up a huge ethical can of worms. If you have to click agree just to participate in the modern world, to use essential software, or to stay connected, is that consent really meaningful? Is it truly a free choice? Or is it more like an ultimatum? Agree to our terms or get locked out.
Okay, so now let's go to the truly dark side of adware, the point where it stops being a business model and becomes a genuine piece of malicious software, or malware.
And the difference is like night and day. Legitimate ads, they're usually integrated into the app. You kind of expect them to be there. But malicious adware, it's just chaos. We're talking endless pop-ups, ads injected where they don't belong, and sometimes it's even a delivery system for even worse spyware.
So, how can you tell if your device is infected? There are a few classic red flags. Suddenly, your screen is just flooded with pop-up ads. Your web browser's homepage or search engine gets changed without you doing it. Your whole computer just slows down to a crawl. And maybe you see new toolbars that you know for a fact you never installed.
And here's where it gets really sinister. Some of the more advanced malicious adware is actually designed to find and shut down your security software, basically leaving the door wide open for even more dangerous threats to walk right in.
So let's be perfectly clear. At this point, we've completely left the idea of a fair trade. This is not a business model anymore. It is a hostile invasion of your device and a direct attack on your privacy.
Okay, that was all the bad news. The good news is that you are not helpless in this fight. So let's talk about some real, concrete steps you can take to protect yourself.
It really comes down to a simple three-part strategy. First, just be cautious. Really think about what you're downloading and where you're getting it from. Second, slow down a bit during the installation process. Watch out for those little pre-check boxes that try to sneak unwanted extra software onto your machine. And third, use good, dedicated security software.
And if you're looking for some of the heavy hitters out there, tools like Malwarebytes, Adware, and Spybot are all specifically designed to hunt down and destroy adware and spyware. Running regular scans with software like this is one of your best lines of defense.
So what's the big takeaway here? The line between a fair bargain and a privacy invasion really comes down to transparency and meaningful consent. As we keep moving through a world that runs on free, we really have to stop and ask ourselves, what is our attention actually worth? And what are we willing to trade for it?